you know what the oldest known physical depiction of the heavens is in history? Or for that matter, the oldest portable instrument that we have? Part of this channel is taking you through Western civilization and showing you the wealth that we have. And part of that is showing you how old the roots of our civilization is, so that you can take pride not just in our European cultures, but wider Western civilization and liberal values. So, what is this ancient instrument? It's the Nebra Sky Disk. And what is it? This is Benjamin, and that's what this video is about. The disk was discovered by two treasure trove hunters hunting illegally around a prehistoric mound in 1999, searching for metal artifacts, and they knew their acts were under German law classed as looting. They discovered it, damaging parts of it with their spades. Don't go just digging around ancient mounds with shovels on your own. Consult someone who knows what they're doing. These are artifacts that are the precious heirlooms of humanity. Don't be so selfish as to take it on your own. There was a bit of changing of hands of a hoard of relics and a bit of drama to get this disc and other relics back. But those two treasure trove hunters ended up doing prison time. The disc was found along with two swords of bronze, axe heads, and a chisel, and two gilded spiral arm bands at a prehistoric mound in Zigoroder forest called Mittelberg. Mittelberg would mean middle hill in English, and I just like languages, so I would mention that. And this area is very peculiar because the highest peak of the Harz Mountains, Brocken, sits 50 miles away, where the sun sets on the summer solstice. And this area is very peculiar geographically. This is the northernmost bit of highland, stretching up through the middle of Germany. And going north, it's just flat all the way, well, until you get over the sea to Norway. And east, you could walk in a straight line to the Ural Mountains in the middle of Russia without really coming to any major elevated hills. There's a bit of rugged to the west, but not much. And it would have been a focal point. This outcropping, this ridge, would have pulled people in who looked up at this point of highland toward the sky. It's at the same latitudes as other cultures looking into the heavens at this time in history. Southern England and the Atlantic periphery, around Brittany. Linked to this geography is the origin of the metals that make up this disk. But first, let's be specific here. What are we dealing with? This disc is about 30 centimeters of width. That's about a foot, yeah? And then 2.2 kilograms. That's just under 5 pounds. So we're looking at a disc that's basically the size of a large pizza that would feed a family of 5 or 6. A sky pizza. The distinctive bouquet of stars represents the Pleiades, a cluster of 7 stars used in ancient India and Sumerian mythological engravings and Babylonian writings. In Welsh, these stars are called Tur Tewdws, and this could have a couple different meanings. Tur means tower, so that bit we know. Tew is like thick or concentrated in older bits of Welsh. Dws could mean dust, like dust, or dwys, so either tower of the thick dust or tower of the light that's thick together. I think more the tower of the thick light. I like that. And in the northern hemisphere, those stars rise on the horizon in spring before the solstice. This is significant because of where its metals come from. It is made of bronze and gold. The green coloration of the bronze indicates the growth of crystals, which tells us the age of this disk. The size means it is 3,600 to 3,700 years of age. The gold of the stars and celestial bodies comes from Avon Carnon in Cornwall, as did the tin composite of the bronze. But the copper mixed with the tin comes from Austria at Bischofshofen. This wide-spanning geography of metals, Austria and Cornwall, is significant because this culture was further to the north, able to gather usage of materials from beyond the Danube River Valley, which would have connected them all the way to the Black Sea, if they went down that way, and on the far western sea, along the west coast of Britain. This was a transcontinental construction, in an age when traveling would have been so much more difficult. And at this point, at this ridge of highland, before all the flatlands, this was the emergence of probably a powerful kingdom and a royal dynasty that wanted to proclaim itself able to even construct such magnificent works. And this is the Unilice culture. I don't know if I pronounced that right, it doesn't matter. But they were a significant force in these parts of Germany and Western Poland and Czechia in the late Bronze Age. Look at these amber beads found in Denmark. This would have been produced by this culture using trade routes up into the Baltic coast. So they were sucking in resources from all parts of Northern Europe, essentially, to conduct trade and assemble materials to construct beautiful works. On the sides of the disc are two gold arcs. One is missing, and it should be noted that these gold arcs were put on after the bronze bits. This was layered in construction over several generations. Bits were added to it, probably taken off, holes put in to be able to attach this device, probably to maybe even a shield, a wooden shield, or some kind of suspension to enable people to gaze at it from different angles in some type of council, perhaps. As I said, one of these arcs is missing, which, if you put both of them in, these are at the incline of solstice angles. At that latitude on the Earth, which is 51.28 degrees latitude, very similar to Stonehenge. And what this does with the stars and moon, with the sun pictured here as well, is phenomenal. It allows for the calculation of both the solar year and the lunar year at the same time with the same device. And this was before writing, using the center of the disk to create 41-degree angles to tell us when celestial bodies appear over the horizon at this place in Germany throughout the year. So what's the bottom arc? Well, we think this is a solar boat, and that's a motif common to Indo-European cultures in the Bronze Age. So in India, it's similar to in India Surya, the sun deity of Hinduism, who traveled in a shining ship. Or Saule, the Lithuanian sun goddess, who sails in a sunboat. Soleil, same root word as sun, as French. And even Greek Helios, the sun deity, cognate with Welsh Hael, the sun. Helios with his chariot is a solar deity. But even ancient Egypt had Ra, the sun god, riding in a solar bark. What this portable device does is actually quite astounding for the age 3,700 years ago, as it takes all the knowledge of Stonehenge's astronomical calculations and compresses it into this portable form. or Stadadau Karnak in Britannia and Brittany, with all these aligned stones, and enables you to carry that around to the agriculture, the fields, the farming sector, or the religious rites and the burials at different mounds to align them with solstices or royal ceremonies or religious ceremonies. And in my opinion, it's a proclamation of power to be able to politically gather the materials and knowledge to construct this thing, but then to make it portable and go around and be able to say, I know that this celestial body will rise over the horizon at this time of year. So that would have been, whoa, you can predict that? We'll make you king kind of thing. So maybe that's what it was. What do you think it was? Let me know down in the comments. And diolch yn fawr iawn, thank you very much for watching. Join me on Patreon or buy me a coffee. Leave a subscribe or like. Leave a subscribe? Tap subscribe. We'll see you next time.